So I'm here tonight at the beautiful Delano with Rhea. Rhea just performed at the Florida Room. It's her album release party, which is actually titled Rhea, right?
Yep, self-titled.
So tell me a little bit about what it felt like. I mean, you performed before.
Yes.
But what was it like for your album release party to perform in front of this amazing crowd?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything like it. I think like you said, I've performed many times before. I don't think there's anything more fulfilling and more like gratifying and even like energetic, like physically energetic about having all these people there just for me and really just to see I guess like the fruits of all my labor, because a lot of these people have met me recently or have been with me for 3 years, know me, you know, so to have just that mix of the crowd that everyone's there just to be supportive and to listen to good music, and I mean it's kind of like overwhelmingly beautiful. I guess that's the best I could put it.
And the best part was, I mean, your mother was sitting right next to me, and when you sang the Mama's Love.
Mama's Love, yeah.
Mama's Love, oh my God, the look in her face, in her eyes, her smile, everything. You should have seen, it was such a beautiful look, and it was great to be able to see that and to see the admiration in her eyes of seeing what her daughter's doing.
Right.
So,
that's wonderful.
Yeah, no, it was a very proud moment.
I didn't get to see that, so it's very nice you're telling me.
And so tell me a little bit of a background. Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in Colombia,
okay,
in Cúcuta, Colombia, which is on the border with Venezuela, and then I moved to Miami. I grew up my whole life in Miami, but I studied in Boston, so sometimes some people tell me I have a little Boston accent, only when I say Boston, I guess. But Miami is like the heart of me, especially here in the United States.
Right.
So yeah, that's pretty much as far as like where I grew up and stuff. Now, as far as like music, and I started singing since I was a little girl doing different shows and stuff, but it really, like, the turning point as like thinking I need to be doing this more often or like as something serious was when I was in church, like most kids when they're growing up. Joined the choir, like a lot of people, and then was given the chance to do a solo. And from there on out, the lady, you know, liked what she heard, and she kept putting me on. And then at one point, she just made me cantor, which is the person who leads the church and sings.
Well, how old are you?
I was in 4th grade.
No way.
Yeah.
You're about what, 9 years old?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and that's when I did my first cantor job, I guess. That's when I really knew, because Mass was over and everybody just came up to me, and I felt so comfortable, and I really thought like this is what I need to be doing. I really love this. So.
And then, how did you come about creating this album? What did you put into it? How does it work?
Wow, it's a lot of work to start. I would say it's years. I think people think, you know, you make an album. I guess if you have a record label and you've already made 5 albums and you have another one to put out, you can kind of like pop them out like babies and stuff, so that you just keep popping out music. But as an indie artist, there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of budgeting, whether you're getting sponsored or you're budgeting it yourself or your family is helping you, which for me is a mix of all of those. And you know, it takes time to be able to do all of that. Also, the songwriting process is takes time in itself. Pretty much all the music you're gonna hear there is original, if not co-written with like the producer and stuff. So the process is, I would say, particularly for this album, I'm sure it's gonna change in the future, but over a span of from start very first song to finish last master, 3 years.
Wow.
3 years of work, yeah. And even while you're doing it, you keep updating the music, because times keep changing, and you know. But you still want to maintain your like freshness, your sound, your, let's say, sincerity, your own tone, your own you. So.
Wow, and I met you, what, almost about a year ago.
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's true.
and it was at the Magic City Productions gig, and you sang All Right in there, and I was like, oh, I know that song, I like it, I heard her. I mean, I heard you sing without, like, in rehearsal, I heard you sing without any instruments, without nothing, and it was just mind-blowing, and in there, even more. The crowd was going crazy, they all loved it.
Yeah.
But, like, for example, Mama's Love is inspired, you know, your mother is your inspiration. Where does your other inspiration come from?
I would say I tend to have themes that I don't realize until like I put them all together, the songs, and I'm like, wow, I kind of talk about a lot of similar themes. And I would say one is women emancipation, the empowerment of female are just, I don't know, it's hard for me to think about. I think honestly it comes from my dad. My dad is an obstetrician gynecologist and a sexologist, and he believes that the female race, the female gender is the superior gender. That's just like, I think a lot of people would be like, what? How could he even say that if he's a guy? Well, we just got a boo behind the camera. But you know what? He studied enough the history of women and, just sexuality and stuff, and he says we one up them. That no matter what, that's just the way it is, even though guys don't want to hear that. So
I like him.
Yeah, I'll make sure you meet him sometime.
Great.
So I guess it's like the mix of that. I really have that influence on that side of me. My dad, kind of like everything, really talking about women, and I've just taken classes on feminism and stuff like that, and I'm fascinated with the whole emancipation of women, because I think we have a bigger place that we deserve, and we're already achieving many incredible things. So that's a big thing, and recovery, rebirth, feeling good, confidence. These are all, I guess, themes within my music.
Yeah, no, I can tell, a lot of, like, All Right, for example. That one, I mean, it's my favorite, so I'm going to keep on mentioning it. But it definitely does make you realize that after everything, you will be all right. You have to be your own rock, your own person to bring you up.
That's right.
Now, I did catch two of your songs on video, and I'm wondering, you go through several genres. There's, one that has kind of like the band had a jazzy feel to it.
Right.
There was one that, you had everybody dancing up and, shaking their hips left and right. And what genres would you say that you perform in?
I like to call it my rainbow, because funny enough, in the history of music and artists who get, solo artists particularly, you're made to fit into this box, into this genre box where you're supposed to play this, because if you don't, it's not marketable, or it doesn't work for you, because people relate you to this style of music, and then if you bring something else, people are like, what just happened? And the more and more I began to sing, I realized how much of a fusion I am myself. Not only because I was born in Colombia, but my dad's Cuban, and I have those two influences, but also I've traveled a lot of places in the world, and I'm just fascinated by world music as well. So I decided that I was just going to be me with this. And me is a lot of colors and a lot of genres. And even though it's the same voice throughout the whole thing, So I would say I touch the Latin genre, I tease with the Middle Eastern genres, even dance, and pop and soul. Those are like the roots of the entire album, pop and soul, so you can't not have that.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, every single song was different, and they're all electrifying. I love them all. So I would love to. Would you let me put those two that I?
No, of course,
Great.
Of course.
That way everybody can get a little bit of a peek.
Right.
So what's next?
Well, touring, and I'm thinking a lot of media promotion, including this. So there's going to be a lot of exposure to the album. I'm planning to hopefully by the beginning of next year. Maybe take a trip up to the Northeast and visit Boston again and do some shows in New York and in Boston, and anything in between that comes up. So, we'll see.
Nice.
There's a lot to come.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you so much.
And you can find her online, Ria Music Online, on Twitter at Ria Music Online, also on Facebook at Ria Music Online, and is it riamusiconline.com?
.com.
There you go. And you can buy her album, her first album, self-titled Ria. Thank you so much.
Thank you.